What is up, everybody? Jeremy Callahan coming at you. Let me turn the music off. All right. The App Man coming back at you every Tuesday night for the App or Not to App show. It's actually episode 11. Great app ideas that failed. Whoa, things that failed. And I want to talk to you about failing and some of the apps I've had that I've created that have been excellent ideas, but they didn't work out. And the reason they didn't work out is because of this guy right here. That's right. I will admit it. I am not the greatest salesperson in the world. And if I were, I'd probably be successful with these two apps that I'm going to talk about tonight. That's basically it. You know, I have failed many times in my development career, and these are just two examples. They're actually good apps. They're still in the app store. They're still good ideas. They could still potentially go somewhere. But for right now, they're just kind of sitting there collecting dust. And maybe you have things in your life that have been like that. When it comes to apps, I've been developing them since 2011, and like I said, I haven't always hit home runs, and that's one of the things that makes me an expert, and that's one of the ways I can help you with any mobile app project you have, because I failed so you don't have to. There you go. If you have any questions, ideas, hey Natalie, what's up? I'm going to talk about an app I created that failed. It's actually in the event space. Yeah. You see, when I go to events, networking events, big networking events, any kind of events, the one thing that sucks while I'm there is there's probably the person I want to talk to in the room that could help me out with something very specific, and I have no way of identifying that person prior to the event or when I'm at the event. So it's just a roll of the dice if I get lucky and actually end up talking to that person. So I thought, you know, it would be a good idea is to have an app that all the people that are registered for the event, I can see their profiles, and I could just communicate with them before the event. So I could get online, chat them up a little bit, hang on, and potentially line something up at the event. Or if I talk to somebody at the event and I didn't get their information at the event, I could look them up on the app and then contact them through the app after the event. Real simple concept. So last year, I went to this event. It was called 10X Growth Con, and it's by this guy, Grant Cardone. And I wanted to get on his radar, the guy that was actually hosting the event. And so I was like, screw it. I've had this app idea forever for the event, so I'm just going to create it. So I think it ended up taking me probably about 2 or 3 weeks to create the app. It was more or less a prototype, and it just had a few things on it. Let's see if we can move it over here. How do we do this? There we go. Okay, that's a different app. So here it is, right? And that's basically it, right? It would have my profile or whoever the profile was of the person that had entered their information in, had a Twitter feed. So anybody that hashtag 10X or 10X Growth Con during the event would show up in the Twitter feed, list of speakers, and a schedule. Real simple thing. So created it, built it out. What's up, Stephanie? Congratulations on the baby. Beautiful. Congrats. Anyway, you know, that would be the app. So people going to the event could have it. And I sent it to Grant Cardone before the event. Because again, I just wanted to get on the guy's radar of, hey, I'm the app man, I'm at the event. There's all these people there, salespeople and whatnot. And I had a contact within his office, and it was going good. He's like, yeah, create it, send it over. You know, what's your proposal? And then I sent it to him, and they saw it, and they actually sent me a cease and desist letter. Yeah, I got a cease and desist letter, but that's okay. I actually thought it was funny, and I didn't want to be a total a-hole about it. So I just kept the app up. As you can see, it's still in the App Store. This is the App Store listing right here. I actually kept the app up, but I just changed all the logos on it. And they're like, well, you can't use our schedule. And I was like, dude, it's public domain. I don't know what to tell you. So anyway, pretty good idea. So I go to the event. I talk to some people. Nothing ever comes of it because I don't really keep following up with his office. Now they're doing an event. They're doing it in Vegas in like a month at the Mandalay Bay. And so last year it was like 1,500 people at the event. And this year it's going to be like 15,000. Any 10Xers out there? Any 10Xers out there? Put it in the comments. Give me a like if you're going to the conference. Anyways, I'm not going this year because I have a vacation planned. I already had a vacation planned. But if you're looking for an event to go to network and to meet some really great people, and it's a great event. It's called 10X Growth Con, and it is in Las Vegas. It is February 22nd, maybe. It's like that weekend, the weekend of like the 25th or something, like 25th, 26th. That's the weekend. So anywho, so about, I don't know, 4 weeks ago, I was watching one of Grant Cardone's video streams, and he was talking about the event, and he said, oh, and we got an app, a mobile app for the event, and it's going to be so awesome. It's just freaking facepalm, man. And then today, my friend Yovo sent me a link to the app, to the actual app in the App Store. So they finally launched the app. And I was just like, dude, I created this app last year. I showed it to him. I got a cease and desist letter. And then I never really kept following up with them throughout the year. I probably should have kept following up with them. So great app ideas that fail. There's one that failed right there. Again, it's still an app. It's still in the App Store. It's perfect for events. If you're an event planner, if you're an event manager, if you're looking for an app for your event, this thing can totally be repurposed very fast to fit any event that you have. It's pre-built. It's ready to go. If you want to look at it, take a prototype. It is called 10xworking, 10xworking.com. Like networking, X-working. Get it? Something I came up with. So yeah, if you know, I mean, there's certain things, like if I would have kept following up with this guy over the year and over the year, that I could have potentially built that app for them. Let's check out that app, by the way. It's a little hard to work. So here's his app, Grant Cardone's 10X VIP, and there he is. So first of all, whoever launched this app did a pretty poor job, right? This right here where you have screenshots, you can have up to 5 screenshots of your app. This one has 2. It's like, dude, make use of all your screenshots. Let's see what it looks like on an iPad. There it is on an iPad. Okay, check it. This is like what I created. This is why I was just pissed this morning when I heard about this. Sorry, I like to keep it positive normally, but I was pretty upset this morning when I saw this thing. Your agenda, speakers, sponsors, downloads, polls and quizzes, some sort of game. Dude, I created this app last year. My app is actually better than this app. Still better. Mine's on Android. Mine's on iOS. I got to get better at sales and contacting people. I know my weakness. I know it. So that is one of the first apps that I'm going to talk about tonight that have failed. On another note, let's get positivity back in the room. On another note, I am launching my podcast tomorrow, actually. So if you know me, if you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all those places, I'm going to be bothering people tomorrow with my podcast. Anyways, it's a great podcast. I got 3 episodes already in the can that I'm launching tomorrow night, and then we'll launch one every Wednesday going forward. I'm going to be interviewing this dude, Matt Monero, on Thursday. If you haven't heard of Matt Monero, check him out on YouTube. The guy is awesome. He's got a $100 million company. He basically finances commercial fleet vehicles. He started this business, and now he makes all kinds of videos. He's coming out with a book called Why You Need More Money. And so I'm going to interview him on the App or Not to App podcast. I'm super pumped that that's coming out. I've been working a lot on that. So that's coming out tomorrow. Another positive story. This is talk about failure. This is coming back from the brink of failure. So there is this place. Let's see. Oh, shoot. My thing's all messed up. But anyways, I'll just explain it to you. So there's, in my neighborhood in San Francisco, there is a restaurant. It's called Macked, M-A-C''D, Macked. It's like a mac and cheese place. And Macked is in a location. There's been, at least since I've lived there like 9 years, there's probably been 8 restaurants in this location. Every one of them has failed. There's never anybody in there. They're completely empty. And so this place, Macked, moved in. And Macked is no different than the other 8 or so that have been there. Until last week. No one's ever in there. It's, I don't even know when the place is open. I can't tell anything. So I'm in Tahoe last weekend, and I just jump on Facebook, and my buddy Jonathan K. What up, Jonathan? Jonathan posted a photo of Macked, the restaurant, with a line around the block. And he's like, and his caption was, I don't know what happened. There's never anybody in this place. Every restaurant that's been in here has failed. And all of a sudden, there's a line around the block. And I was like, at first, I was like, oh, well, whatever. That's cool. And then I thought to myself, well, wait a second. What happened? How do you go from nothing to a line around the block? So I thought, man, something's going on either Facebook or Instagram with these guys. So I went onto Instagram. I ran a search on Instagram, and I pulled up their page. And on their page was, let's bring this thing back. Where's my mouse? On their page was this. Hang on. Sorry. Bear with me. Was this posting right here. This posting is a video post. It has 71,000 views. Check it. We'll just watch it real quick. Can you hear it? It's just a product video. They're like the Chipotle of mac and cheese, apparently. It's just a product video. That's it. That video got 71,000. 71,000 hits on Instagram. Got 16 million hits, views on Facebook. It was picked up by BuzzFeed. Boom. I don't know. Maybe they paid. But whatever, they got a line around the block. So they are back from the dead. No one was in this place. Now they got a line around the block. So there is always a way to come back from the dead. And today's topic is great app ideas that failed. And I've had a few that I have failed on. Most notably, most recently, 10X working. But again, if I pump a little money into it, if I talk to the right people, if the right person sees this video, that app's a winner. That is a 100% winning app right there. If anybody has any ideas for apps that's on the stream right now, put them in the comments and I'll talk about them with you. If you have a problem with an app, an idea, anything like that, I can always help. I'm always here to help, jeremycallahan.com. And if you're watching this on replay, reach out to me. Send me a message on Facebook. Send me an email. Send me a smoke signal. Whatever you do to get in touch with people. All right. Topic today is great app ideas that failed, and I got another one. And these are ideas that I did that failed. Or anybody else. These are me. All me. I'm okay to get in front of you and tell you about my success and tonight my failures. And got to learn from them. One thing that stands out with me that I got to learn is to sell better. Keith Grant, what's up? The Crypto King in the house. One of these days I'm going to do I'll do a Facebook Live on cryptocurrency, altcoins, blockchain, all that good stuff. That video will probably get more views than anything I've ever done. Yeah, what's up, Keith? Anywho, all right, what do we got here? Next app I created that was a great idea. What's with this mouse? Oh my gosh. All right. Great idea that failed. Ballpark waiter. See that screenshot? I took that at Yankee Stadium with my iPhone back in the day. Anyway, it's a great picture. So in 2011, this is actually the story of the first app I ever created, and it's essentially a failure. But in a lot of ways, it's a positive thing. And again, another app idea, a great app idea that's still sitting out there that nobody's done. It's still not in any stadium that I know of. It's ready to go. So if you see this video and you work in food and beverage in a stadium, get in contact with me. Okay, so in 2011, I was a web developer, and I was sitting at my desk, and I had this job, and I wasn't doing much in the job. It wasn't very challenging, and I was seeing all these apps that were coming out, and I thought to myself, you better pick up some new skills. So everything was going mobile. I was a developer, so I decided I was going to program a mobile app. And if you are ever going to think about learning programming and want to talk about that, get in touch with me. But the easiest way to do that, if you want to learn to program and come up with something, is first come up with an idea, and then second, figure out how to program it. Don't be like everybody else where you're going to get a programming book and learn to program Hello World and stupid programs in the book. Get an idea and then program it, because you'll be far more motivated to keep going and do stuff with it. Okay? So that's what happened to me. I came up with this idea for Ballpark Waiter. I was at the Giants game. I was sitting in the club section, and this girl came down and took our order, gave us a menu, and took our order with a handheld, swiped our card, and then 10 minutes later, somebody brought down our beer, somebody brought down our hot dogs. It was awesome. I'm like, this is incredible, right? And then we wanted to do it again, and we had to wait for that person to come over. And so I thought to myself, why in the heck don't we just have a mobile app? Why do we need that person running around up and down the stands, swiping my card and everything? I could be like, I could just create a mobile app and send the orders to the back, route the orders to the back end, and then the runner can bring the food out. We don't need the waiter. All we need is the runner. This is the idea I come up with, and I've never programmed a mobile app, but I'm a self-starter. So I learned to program. That's how I learned to program mobile apps, 2011. And this is the app right here. Well, I launched it November 12th, so maybe it was 2012. But anywho, I learned to do that. And so basically, instead of just sitting there and like thinking like, well, maybe I'll go raise money, or I'll get investors, or I'll get somebody to in the ballpark to buy into it, which was probably the smarter thing to do, I just developed it. And I came out with the idea. So when I would go and talk to people and try to sell this idea to them, it wasn't an idea on a PowerPoint. It was an actual like, here's the app, dude. Use it. So I went around and I went to various ballparks, went to the Warrior Stadium, I went to minor league, I tried all these different people, and it was always the same story. It was like a cab company and Uber. At least, they were just like, oh, well, we're selling hot dogs and beers for $20 a piece. Why do we care if you have to get out of your seat? Is basically the general idea. Their secondary excuse, actually that wasn't their excuse, but that's more or less what it was. Their worry was that they didn't want a bad fan experience, because they didn't want like you to order something and then have it not available, because you wouldn't get mad at the app, you'd get mad at the Giants or the Warriors. So anyways, I'm like, well, it's a bad fan experience to have to get up and miss the damn game so I can get a beer when everybody else does. Never went anywhere. This idea, literally, this thing has been in the App Store since 2012. There's not one stadium that has this. I think the Niners might have it through like their mobile app, or like maybe the Knicks, and they only roll it out in a certain section of the stadium. Maybe the Falcons have it. The Falcons just came out with a new stadium in Atlanta, so maybe they have it. But still, this should be everywhere. It's 2018 now, and you still have to get up out of your seat, to get a beer or a hot dog at a ball game. Oh, technology has let us down in the ballparks. So those are some ideas. And again, this idea probably, it's a good idea and it can still go somewhere. But, you know, great app ideas that failed is the topic tonight. And I'm not talking about other apps. I'm talking about apps I created, me, that have gone nowhere. So that networking app, right, for the conferences and the events, the 10X working app, that's got my name all over it. It's still just sitting there. Ballpark Waiter, got my name all over it. It's still just sitting there. Now, I've been very successful with a lot of other things that I've done in my career, and I continue to be successful, and I'm very good at app development and things like that, but I'm not great at sales. Need to get better. So anyways, that's why I'm doing a lot of these videos, so people know what I do and how I do it and what I stand for. So always trying to bring you the best information. If you need to get in touch with me, jeremycallahan.com. I have a YouTube channel with a ton of videos on it. I think there's like 60, 70 videos on there now about app development, mobile app development. Sometimes I talk a little bit motivation. I've kind of been peeling that back a little bit lately, throttling that back and just giving you more general information about what I do. And so, you know, coming out with that podcast comes out tomorrow. Be prepared to be inundated with my marketing on social media tomorrow. I thank you for joining the stream tonight. I hope you learned something. I hope if you have something nice to say or anything, put it in the comments, and I really appreciate you being here. And with that, I'm going to sign off. Oh, let's put the song back on. I like the song. All right, y'all. Thanks for joining tonight.